Welcome to D-Mop Garage. We're back in the shed on the 52 Krankenwagen. You can see here we have been busy getting these rims ready for paint. They've been blasted. They've had some phosphoric acid put on overnight. That's all dried. We're going to scuff these back now, give them some coats of primer. But before we do those, we're paint stripping this one because it's got so many layers of paint on it. The sandblaster is just laughing. The sand is just bouncing straight off it. So, well, I don't know how many layers are on there, but you can see the paint stripper's doing its thing. We've got one more in here. That one's just got a very light coat of primer on it, so we'll quickly just blast that one back. We can get that ready, and then we can get these suckers in primer and go from there. Now, I'm going to show you something outside. It is cold out there, but I will brave the elements. Let's have a look. Yeah, 9 degrees outside and 13.5 inside, but that's climbing because I only just put the heater on. Anyway, I'm going to show you some tyres. This is our tyre choice. So you can see I've got a row of tyres lined up. Now, this is another barn door rim here. That's a Beetle rim. You can see the difference. They have that larger area across here. Now, this is the tyre that we're going to run, which is called a 5.50/16, and you know, that is the old school tyre, Firestone or whatever brand they would have been running back in the day. We're going to try to get these period correct tyres. I mean, you can run something like this, a more modern style of tyre, but you know, this thing's not going to do a lot of miles. I'd rather have the right profile. You can see it's quite a tall tyre, and obviously that's important for the gear ratio, especially with a 25 horsepower motor. We don't want this thing screaming and burning out valves and whatever. You can see that one's even bigger, but that's a 15-inch combi rim, and obviously, you know, that's a 6.70 by 15 tyre. That's an Olympic. Actually, not bad condition there. Look at it. Olympic Air Ride. I love it, and I reckon it would have been like Air Ride back in the day. Anyway, so that's what we're going to order. We're going to get 5 of those suckers. It's actually not a bad day outside. I think later on it's going to be surfing time in a 4-3 wetsuit. Let's go back in the warmth here. So let's see. We're not going to do any painting of the rims today because it's not actually that good of a day. And to spray these suckers, I'll probably put this back on its old wheels and roll it outside, and then I can just set up the table in here and get these painted, because we're going to somewhat need a warmish room to do them. So for the rest of today, I think I want to start getting the bright work. These need rechroming, and they are the original barn door handles. You can see that tiny little indentation just there. That tells me, you can just, it's very hard to see it, but yeah, that is the right one. So we're going to take these to a local chromer and get them rechromed. Same with this one here. You can see it's got refresh all over it. I don't know what happened there. I think someone dropped it on the ground or something. Anyway, we're going to take that off. Take that off. The hubcaps, we're going to get those rechromed, which are in the sandblaster. What else? I think in here, they're aluminium, so they just need to be polished up. They'll be fine. I don't think there's anything else in here that needs chroming. No, I think that's probably it. Just the door handles, the front bezels here. Yeah, they're not, I don't know. Maybe I'll do those as well. I'll see. They actually look pretty good as they are. I think if we take them off and run them over the buffer, they'll probably come up okay. I don't want to go too crazy. I mean, these are pretty bad. So now, one problem I'm finding with this handle, if we shut this door and then I go to open it, doesn't open. You've got to open it from the inside. Now, I have discovered the problem, and if you see, watch here, it doesn't go all the way in. So something's not quite right inside the mechanism. You can see there, it won't depress it all the way. So let's pull this apart now and find out why that's not going all the way in like that. Okay, we'll take that for a second. Let's have a look at here. Nothing looks worn out with the handle. So, yeah, don't know. That looks to be okay to me. So it's got to be the mechanism. It's got to be this mechanism. All right. Putting that back in. Okay, we have her out. Now, this thing is, oh yeah, I can see what's wrong already. The spring's no good inside. You can just see it in there, so we're going to have to pull this thing apart and fix it. Okie dokie, over to the bench. Okay, so on closer inspection, I don't see anything wrong with this handle. The mechanism works perfectly, and the arm, which is that contact point there, that comes into contact on that little nib right there, and that looks to be a little bit worn out. So I don't know whether I could build that back up with weld or not. I don't know what sort of metal this is. I have pulled these apart before. You just have to grind off the heads of the rivets, but I don't really want to if I don't have to. Now, one thing that is snapped inside is this little spring here. So that spring there is completely gone. It lives inside there and it's broken, so that's not doing anything. However, the other one is. So the mechanism still works, and it's got quite a bit of oomph in it. And obviously it needs to get pulled all the way to there for the door to open. Now, one other issue I have seen is if you look here, it's cracked. Right along that edge there, there's a crack. And also another one there. Now, what's happened is this face, I'll just leave it like that so you can see if we look straight down on it, this isn't 90 degrees. This has got a little bit of a bend in that direction, like that. So I'm thinking if I bend this back again and weld either side of that, that might have something to do with the geometry of this. No, because this is mounted to the door. Oh, no, it isn't. No. So, yes, I think that could be our smoking gun right there. Because what's happened, because this angle here is bent further out, this now is cocked on an angle like that, which means it's not going to have as much throw on that little arm. Can't do it one-handed, I'm afraid. Yeah, there you go there. So that's the arm that gets thrown. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. But first, I think just because the inside of this is so gunked up, I'm going to undo this rivet here and dunk this into the ultrasonic. And I might even just quickly sandblast the outside of it too, just to try and clean it up, because it's got a lot of grit and crap inside it. So let's just do that for now and see how we go. Okay, so out of the sandblaster, and I've just dunked it in some auto thinners to clean out all the crap inside it. But you can see now it's working perfect. So I've managed to take out that broken spring out of the side, so it's only got the one in there, but it's still got plenty of tension on it. So, and then you can pull it from there. Fine. So that's good. We're good to go. I'll give that a grease up inside. I didn't really need to pull this apart, so I just cleaned it out, dunked it underneath, and that'll do the job. There's our little number there. For anyone playing at home, wants to read numbers. Part number, VW. And yeah, all we're going to do now is just, we'll put that back onto there and just put a little blob of weld on it to put it back together. Now what we are going to do now is just bend this back and just weld these corners here, just to make sure that we've got that dead straight. So we'll do that and get it fixed. Okay, there we go. Lick of paint, just a bit of satin black. And we'll put some more grease inside it and that's a job done for that part. Let's just go and hang it somewhere. That'll do right there. Beautiful. I can do its thing overnight. Next time I've got to take this one here off, so that's going to be pretty easy. Just a couple of screws here. Let's get her off. There we go. Now this guy has, well, this lock has a key. And of course we have no keys for this thing. And someone's done a shoddy repair on this sucker. VW235 is our number here. So that's probably going to correspond to the code in the barrel. I'll have to do some research on how to pull this barrel out because we don't have any keys for this thing. So that's going to be entertaining. Anyway, put that aside. Let's get this guy out. That's going to have to go and get chromed. Would be nice if we could get that chromed. I might try and buff that up on the buffer. We'll just see how good I can get it. Because if it's not too bad, we might keep it. Let's have a go.
A few moments later.
Okay, after a little bit of buffing, you can see, yeah, not really good enough, unfortunately. So we will send that in to get chromed along with this one, and whatever else I can find. I'll go and get the other door handle off. Let's do that. Okay, so fast forward a couple of minutes. I've just remounted everything just to test that theory of that part being bent and not giving the cam enough purchase to turn it. You can see what's happening here is when you actually activate the handle, nothing happens until there. That's when it's actually making contact. So that's probably a little too far out, I think, but it does work. Like if I shut it, it will open now, but you can see there it's got that little bit more needs to go further in. So I think I might just put a little bit of a weld. You can actually see if you look in through the well, it's probably too dark for you guys, but I did notice that cam lever isn't making contact until there. You can see it should be about there. So that's going to get rechromed anyway, so I might just weld a blob of weld onto it just to bring it so it's closer. But you know, look, it does work. It does open the door. Cool. All right, let's move on to something else. We have put some old dodgy wheels on, and yeah, I don't have enough wheel nuts either. I think I need another 9, which is crazy. Anyway, we're going to wheel this thing out now, and then we can do some rim painting. Okay, so we have pulled Mr. Krankenwagen outside for a little bit. I've got the hoist. We're going to put this piece of timber on it, and then we can put the rims on and get painting. Unfortunately, that's a 52 rim, and a couple of those are actually 54 rims. So I want to get this one ready, and of course it's got a tyre on it. And I'm like, I've got to break the bead, and I think I'm going to use the hoist to break the bead. Let's give it a crack, see if this works. I think that's what I did. I just put that part on top of it and it gave it a bit more oomph, and I think we are out. And probably just undo the Schroeder valve now. we're out. So that's the trick. Take the inner tube out first. Anyway, we're good. We can give this sucker a sandblast and get it ready for painting. Let's go. All right, let's get a little bit of goopy goop. Makes that sandblasting job just that little bit easier. There you go. So that's 2 layers of paint stripper, just to get those 2 layers off, or probably 3 or 4 layers actually. But you can see it takes it off pretty good. I just use a wire brush after it and then hose it down. Now just for the remnants, we'll just chuck it in a blaster and yeah, get it ready for paint. Let's go. Okay, we have the rims in the house. I'm just giving them a Scotch-Brite. Just get them ready for primer. I've also knocked out all the old clips. We've got some new clips coming. We can get those all put in. But for now, we're just going to give these suckers a scuff up. Make sure that they're all going to be ready for paint. Okay, let's get these things ready. Righto guys, so there we go, primer's done. You can see I've just put a bolt here to keep most of the rim edge off the timber, but that's all right, it's only a primer. What we're going to probably do with these, I've got to do a bit more research, but I've got a feeling from the factory they didn't actually paint the entire rim the one colour, because I've seen a couple of photos of they were basically black, and then what they would do is just come and shoot the face in the colour that they were going to be, and you'd end up with overspray on the back of them. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to do a bit more research. I'd like to have them, you know, looking factory. So yeah, if anyone knows, let us know, but I think that's probably what we're going to do anyway. All right, we'll let these things dry off and then we can continue. Okay, rims are dry. We're waiting for the clips to come to get those hubcap clips done. Then we'll probably just wait for a while. I've got about 3 weeks before the tyres get here from America, and then we go from there. But, you know, we can leave these wheels on here for now and just continue on the interior. All right, guys, I'm going for a surf. I'll see you in the next episode, and cheers for the new subscribers too.